problems. But then it became also a necessity. So it was a combination of a necessity for my protection and a hobby, which is when you combine two things, then it's even more useful.
So can I get you to reiterate that? So what you're saying is, although you...
So it started as a hobby, that's what it was at the beginning, but the worse and worse Greece has become, you felt you need to protect yourself.
Yes, because you never know if some crazy guy will try and stab you or kidnap you or do anything to your family. And I hope it never happens, but you must be ready to defend yourself.
I mean, it's not that out there. You said your friend has been kidnapped.
Sorry, say that again.
I mean, it's not that out there to think it could happen. You mentioned your friend's been kidnapped.
Yeah, 1 month being in captivity away from your family and being 76 years old is not the best thing that could happen to you.
And do you have to...
Start again.
And do you have to be given a thumbs up to carry a gum around? Not a gum. Sorry. And do you have to be given the thumbs up by officials that you can carry a gun around?
Yeah, you need to go through psychological tests, physical tests, and prove, explain why to the police you ask for a gun. And if they agree with you and you pass the test, you get a gun permission.
You had to say, look.
It's not very easy to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
you just show them your CV.
But the police believe that you're in a position that you would need protection.
Yeah, and that's why they grant so many gun licenses.
I can't imagine living your life. I'm just saying.
It has benefits and disadvantages.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you need to weigh.
Yeah.
And for the moment, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if it gets worse, the disadvantages will outweigh the advantages. That's why I have to leave, at least temporarily.
Stace, can I get you to ask him, can you ask Harry, do you carry a gun with you all the time when you go out?
Yeah.
I don't.
I'll just ask
Sorry.
So do you have to carry a gun every time you leave the house?
I don't actually carry it on me, I have it in my car. I don't have a gun in the car door, but I have it under my seat, yes.
So you know it's there
if I need it, it's there, yeah.
I can't ever imagine living your life. It's weird, like you say, it's got benefits and disadvantages. Sometimes...
Have you seen Tony Montana the movie, without the China?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a bit similar without the drugs.
Without all the illegal
exactly,
stuff.
Exactly.
Wow. That is what it's like, isn't it, honestly?
For some people might seem exciting.
Yeah. When I met you, like when I jumped in your car, I was like, oh my god, this is nuts. There was like men in black everywhere, and I like jumped in
Not
the car.
from the movie Men in Black.
No,
right.
Just Men in Black. And I was like, this is crazy. I cannot believe you live your life like this every day.
Since you come to Greece to see a face of all people, you should see an actual face of all people. Otherwise, it's not objective.
Exactly. And I'm so pleased I've met you. And do you know what? As well, I just want to say, like, some people with lots of money can be a bit highbrow or a bit. And you have been so welcoming and so lovely.
I don't know through the porn, how you call it, but I'm not like that. You can ask my girlfriend. All my friends are not people with money, basically.
I wouldn't even know you had money.
Say that again, Steve.
I wouldn't even know you had money.
I said I have a few left in the drawer, not that much. Maybe have more than me now. If you go back to the drachma, you surely will have more than me. Because the euro will be greatly, sorry, the drachma will be greatly devalued to the euro, so my euros will be worth, my drachma, sorry, will be worth nothing.
I don't know if I'm up there with you just yet.
So I have my guns to sell and that's it.
Sell your guns.
Exactly.
I guess you would need them. You would need them then anyway. You'd have as little as everyone else.
I have to go and mug people to get money.
So what I'd like to, can you ask about just two things to begin with? Who's to blame? Because earlier you said it's all the government's fault. So let's get a little bit
If
of
you don't
that.
mind, I have 10 minutes if you want.
Okay, so 4 questions then.
Okay.
So first of all, who's to blame?
Okay. So Harry, your opinion, who's to blame?
The government and just the government, not just this government to be correct, but the 3 previous governments. They were spending like crazy, they were doing nothing to enhance the economy, they were hiring public servants every quarter. That completely killed it.
Everyone I've spoken to.
Sorry, say that again?
Everyone I've spoken to has said the government is to blame.
Yes, so, somebody, I mean, it cannot be that everybody says it. There must be some truth to this statement.
And also, the future. You mentioned going back to the drachma. You know, are you worried? Just say, are you worried about the country going bankrupt?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And how that? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon the future is, Harry, for your country?
The country is unofficially bankrupt. I hope we will go back to the drachma. That would be very bad news for all Greeks. I hope we can avoid that. I hope we get the support of our European friends in the European Union. And as I said, I'm trying to be here to help my country, to help my compatriots as much as I can. But if it gets, even worse than what it is, don't have a choice. I'll have to move somewhere that is better for me and my family, at least for a few years until it gets, slightly better again.
And I suppose you're in a really tricky situation because you're staying in your country because you want to have business in your country and help the country. But at the same time, if you're going to be scared that someone's going to kill you or kidnap you, you can't live like that.
No, I can only live there because I'm not like 80 years old and I'm anyway sitting in my house doing nothing. I'm a young guy and I want to enjoy my life. And if I can't, what's the point? You're having all this anxiety and stress at work to be able to enjoy your success. If you're locked up in a house, even if it's the nicest house in the world, what's the point?
I get it.
So I don't even have a huge choice.
And
finally
for questions, and then we have to get a couple of shots. Can you ask about tax evasion?
Yes.
You've spoken to some people about, how about it.
Typical question.
Yeah. People will always ask super rich people about tax evasion.
The problem for Greece was that tax evasion was a national hobby, and it was not the rich that were doing it. Everybody was doing it because the state didn't have the proper mechanism to check who is evading tax, so everybody was doing it and we're not getting punished. Thank God, after the new government came in 4 months ago, they've been quite strict on tax evasion, extremely strict, I can tell you, even above average.
Because they've been burned. Because
they've been burned, so now even if you're €1 as VAT, you go to jail immediately. So, and some very high-profile people have been jailed, and I think that's a good example, and now people are more scared and are trying to settle their debts to the government, in order to avoid getting caught and getting jailed and getting embarrassed and so on. So it was a huge problem for the last 15 years, but at least we've made huge progress in the last 5 months.
Because there were rumours that,
Just start that again.
Because there were rumours that all these rich people owed millions in tax, millions.
Sorry, we could just get you to pick that up again, because I wouldn't mind asking that question again. It was stay on a 2-shot for this, please, Rob. Just say, tax evasion.
Okay.
Again, sort of say,
So people will always ask super rich people about tax evasion.
As I said, the problem was that up to 6 months ago there was no checking mechanism for the state to see what every person declares. So there was a lot of tax evasion, big scale, rich people, poor people even were not paying tax, even in the middle class people. So it was a huge problem for the government. There were no earnings going in and only expenditure. In the last 6 months we've seen a huge progress. People are getting jailed, going to jail. New laws are passed that are very, very strict. So thank God we've seen a sudden change, and now people are indeed paying and are scrambling to pay whatever they owe, because they will end up in a jail cell. So.
Because there were rumours, weren't there, that there were super rich people in Greece that owed millions in tax. They owed millions in tax.
I'll give you a fact. Actually, it's about 40 billion a year is estimated.
Ooh, billion.
Billion.
40.
Sorry, Harry, I'll ask you the question. Tim doesn't exist.
Yes, go on.
There were rumours that billions of euros were owed through tax every year that wasn't being collected.
That's true. That was not only because of the rich people, it's because of the whole population. And as I said, there were a lot of things not working for Greece. I'm hoping, and we've seen a real change in the last 6 months, and with the pressure from our European partners, and thus I think that will not happen from now. Now you owe €1, You either pay it, make a settlement, or you go to jail. That's as simple as that. Or of course they can take your assets.